We're talking here today with Ethan Shields. Ethan, how you doing?
Fine, how you doing?
Doing fine. So you were going to share some things about the way things go in this county, right?
Yep.
What do you have in mind?
Well, I know the sheriff lied to me twice.
Really?
Yeah. He said he's going to send some deputies, and I was having a reaction from an antibiotic, and I didn't see a single one of them when I was having splitting headaches.
Really?
Yeah.
Now you called him. Where was he at when?
No, I seen him downtown. He seen me getting ready to get in the garbage.
Yeah.
Then that was the next time. Then he seen me downtown getting mad that time. Then he seen me getting in the garbage one time, and he said if I needed anything, let him know. And I told him what I needed. And he said he'd have Robin that works with him send me some stuff down, and I didn't see a single one of them.
And about how long ago has that been?
About a week or two ago.
Really?
Uh-huh.
So we don't think he's a man of his word?
Nope.
No, you kind of expected someone like that, a professional, would be responsive to the citizens, right? How old are you?
Yep, 20.
You're 20, so you're old enough to vote, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What else is going on?
Then I have a problem. The law comes back to me and says I'm the problem.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You're the victim?
Yeah. Like somebody's following me around. And then some kids starting to gang up on me, and then they come back and say I'm the problem.
Why did he say you were the problem?
Because he said I was following the dude around after he started following me. And said I was the problem.
Huh. So did he have a solution for it?
He said just quit following him around, and if he follows me, tell him and he'll do something about it.
Did that happen? Was there a time that he started following you around, the other guy?
Yeah, I seen him going up by the sheriff's department when I was walking up there to see Robin. But she and Kathy's the only two who've mostly been helping me out.
Really?
Yeah. Then I walked up there to see her, and I seen turn the corner. Everything. They hadn't done nothing with him.
But did you file a complaint with somebody?
I told the trooper that he was harassing me. I seen him at Dory's, him and some sheriff's deputies, and told him that they were harassing me, that dude was, and they said they'll talk to him, and he kept knocking on my door still after they talked to him at night. He came and knocked on my door and hollered at me.
That's crazy. Well, they get on some people really tight about harassment, you know?
Yep. And the welfare has been getting on my nerves.
Really?
Yeah.
What are they doing?
Well, they took me to a homeless shelter, and then they said at the shelter I couldn't have my stereo. The Lewisburg worker took me.
Right.
Then they said they had to take my stereo back to their office. And I bought it over here, paid $60 for it. It was half price. And then I said, well, when did I get my stereo back? Whenever I got back, you know. And I hadn't seen it since. Then the worker...
Now, wait a minute. Who took that stereo?
The Lewisburg worker.
Oh, so the people down at the shelter or wherever it is.
Yeah, down in Lewisburg, they took me to Beckley to the homeless shelter and took my stereo.
And never gave it back to you?
Nope.
Wow. Did they give you a receipt for your stereo?
Nope. They didn't even tell me if they'd give it back to me. They just took it. Said we got to take it to the Lewisburg office since you can't have it here. But the weird thing about it is I snuck a laptop and stuff in there, and they let me have it until they found out about it.
Then what did they do?
They just put it in their office until I left the shelter.
But they gave you the laptop back?
Yeah. The shelter did.
But they wouldn't give you your stereo back?
Nope, the Lewisburg office hadn't.
Now, did you call them and tell them that you didn't get your stereo back?
I tried to tell the worker up here, it works sometimes in Lewisburg.
Oh, okay. Who's that worker?
Daphne Brown.
Oh, okay.
And she hadn't got it back yet.
But did she say she would get it back?
I think she told Jenny Frill when she was working with me that she'd try to get it back. And still hadn't seen it.
Well, it shouldn't be a trouble to get the stereo back. It was
I got the remote and everything, but not the stereo piece.
Was it a pretty good size stereo?
It's like one of them boom boxes.
Oh, okay. So it was portable. It was easy to carry around.
Yeah.
And it meant a lot to you because young people like to have their stereos to carry
Yeah, I
around.
could have used a good stereo in my bedroom where I'm staying at now.
Well, maybe Daphne will get it back.
Long story there. Me and her don't get along.
Oh, is she still helping you?
Yeah, she's trying to get guardianship, but long story there. I went to a group home, and when I first got into it with my mom,
Yeah.
then I went down there. Then the lady at the group home handed my money over to her, Daphne. Then I hadn't seen it since. $500 some back in December, and they're trying to say that they didn't have it.
So you took your money too?
I don't know if they did or not, because they said to me and my sister and my mom, whenever they sent me back to my mom's, that it was in an envelope with a bunch of papers. We checked that envelope and everything. The lady at the group home gave me like my clothes and stuff I had there. It wasn't nowhere to be found. And my sister asked her about it, and Daphne said it's in that envelope.
But it wasn't in the envelope.
Nope.
That's you know, they're supposed to give, when they take stuff from you, they're supposed to give you a receipt for it. You know?
Yep.
And so this time they didn't even give you a receipt either. So they never made a list of whatever they took from you.
Nope. And I tried to ask her about it, and then she won't even tell me where it happened to it, actually happened to it. But like me and my family was thinking, it was around Christmas time, so she pocketed it. But she don't want to admit it.
So basically,
But I'm
you had $500. You were
yeah, for $500. I think $569 or $589.
Yeah. And you knew that they had it. They took
Yeah, I
it.
knew the lady at the group home handed it right to her. I seen it. And I seen Daphne put it in some envelope, and then when I got home, it wasn't there.
Well, what does Daphne's supervisor say about it?
They don't even care.
Oh, really?
Nope.
Did they just took her word then?
Yeah, they just took her word.
So you've never got your $500 back either?
Nope.
You could use that $500. Looks to me like the shelter would have to come up with that.
Nope, this is when I went to the group home, and the lady...
Oh, the group home. Okay.
Yeah, the lady said she didn't have it, and she said she'd swear on it, and so did my mom and my sister. Because I seen the lady hand it right to Daphne.
You say your mom would swear that... What would your mom swear?
She said that she didn't have it, her and my sister both.
That you didn't have it?
Nope, but I didn't have it either. Because I checked everywhere, and I didn't even see a single dime of it.
Well, somebody needs to get your money back, don't they?
Yep.
You can't afford to lose that. Well, how are things around Marlton?
They're done to turn around.
Now, you're living here at Marlton?
Yeah.
So you did find a place to live, right?
Yeah, Kathy McCall rented me a place. When Jenny Frill was helping me.
Yeah, she's a school nurse, right?
Yeah, me and her don't get along either.
Oh, really?
Because she wouldn't even take me to the doctor when I need to go, and she was supposed to be helping me.
Was this when you were still in school?
No, this is when I got out of school. It was back in December after I was homeless again.
Oh, was she just volunteering to help you or something?
Yeah,
Jenny?
she started to help me before anybody else could even get a chance.
So there were other people who wanted to be your
That's
guardian?
what I heard from my sister. Back when me and her was still getting along, because the other night I was so worked up from the welfare I threatened to hurt myself. Because they accused me of stalking some girl down here that works at this thrift store.
Yeah?
I don't even have an interest in.
Right. Did they charge you with stalking?
Yeah. The magistrate Kathy went my bail.
What do you mean, no? What do you mean she went your bail? She's a magistrate there.
She gave me a personal requisitions bail.
Oh, personal recognizance. That means that if you don't show up, you'd have to pay so much money, right? And what were they charging you with?
Stalking, as far as I know.
Stalking. Did you read what it was specifically that you'd done?
Yeah, it said DHHR complained that I was stalking this juvenile female around town. But every time I turn around and go by the bank one day, there she was, and I tried to go by her, and then...
So when you saw this particular girl, you never tried to talk to her or anything?
I tried to talk to her down there at Melissa's, that was about it.
Yeah.
I tried to be nice and kind to her, but that was about it. And they're talking to Melissa, and her dad was out there waiting. They called the law and accused me of it.
Well, do you have a hearing set up for that?
Not that I know of.
Yeah. It bothers me a little bit about this thing. You know, I was charged with stalking. Internet stalking, they called it. And I'd never made contact with the person who was accused me of, because I was just wanting to know about where the guy lived. He was our county commissioner, and I didn't think he lived in the right place. And so they came to my house one night and took Janice did, brought about 8 deputies and took away my computers and took away my computer stuff, all based on a stalking charge. So I know what you feel like when that happens.
And another thing, the law just had a warrant to get me, and they seen a poster on my wall of the wrestler, and they started going in there looking at my action figures without a search warrant.
They didn't have a search warrant?
As far as I know, they didn't.
Well, they'd had to show it to you. Were you showing anything?
No, I wasn't showing nothing until I got up there and got showed my warrant for arrest.
So and who was this? Do you remember which deputy it was?
I know one of them was Petrie, Cole, and Brock.
Well, that's a new guy. This must have just been recently.
It was this last Saturday.
Petrie and Cole and Brock. Now I want to ask you something. We've heard that there's a deputy wandering around town without a uniform.
I seen him. That's who I flagged down that one night when them boys were ganging up on me.
Oh, okay. Which one was that?
Cole.
Now, can you remember how he was dressed?
Yeah, he had jeans on and a green t-shirt.
So did he show you a badge or anything?
Not that I could tell.
He was in a police car?
Yeah.
You know, by law, they have to be in uniform unless they're undercover. But you recognized him, didn't you?
Yeah.
So he wasn't much undercover, was he? He didn't have a beard on or a wig or anything like that?
Nope.
We can't figure out why Cole is wandering around town out of uniform.
Me neither. I seen him the other day when he came to my house out of uniform.
Yeah. Well, see, I speculated at one time that first of all, the deputies aren't supposed to be patrolling town. That's the state police's job. Janice pulled the plug on protecting Marlton. So you shouldn't. Did you see these 3 deputies in Marlton?
No, I seen them outside my door.
But you live in Marlton.
Yeah, they was outside my apartment. I was in bed, I had stomach flu, and then heard knock on my door and go check, and they said they needed to talk to me.
So what would they be doing? Would they be doing in town? See, the town pays $35 an hour for the state police, and Janice doesn't consider the town of Marlton to be in his jurisdiction. There's something weird going on here. Are they trying to shove the state police out, or what's the deal?
I have no clue.
They're taking jobs from the state police.
All I know is Brock and Petrie was in uniform, but not Cole.
Hard to be undercover when none of them's in this plain outfit. You remember the deal down at Stillwell Park where Totten was down there and there was somebody out of uniform there and felt that girl down? Well, that's peculiar. Now, have you seen the the sheriff's deputies down here in other cases in patrolling Marlton?
Yeah, I seen them go around in their cars at night when I was allowed out.
So Janice must have decided that he wants to protect Marlton.
Because I seen like several sheriff's cars and only a couple state police go by.
Right. Well, then why should the town be paying the state police to do something that the deputies are doing?
I have no clue.
It's weird. Well, and that's a mystery right now, Ethan, is to figure out, has something changed in Marlton?
A lot of it's changed.
And of course, you're a guy about town. I mean, I see you a lot of different places in town, so you would know if the deputies were patrolling Marlton. And what you think is that they are now patrolling Marlton.
Yep.
So I wonder what the town is going to do about the state police. Maybe they don't need to pay them now, do they?
Not in my opinion, they don't.
Well. Anything else?
Yeah, the DHHR is trying to get guardianship of me and keeps harassing me.
Okay, what do they mean by that?
They think I can't make decisions and stuff on my own.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and if they would quit harassing me, I'd be doing better.
Yeah. Are you living by yourself now?
Yeah. Basically what I'm thinking, they think I am stupid. All I have is a form of autism, the major form where you like develop more.
Oh, yeah.
That Asperger's syndrome. Well, they think I'm dumb, basically what I'm thinking. And mental health, and everybody's right behind them.
Have they ever had you see a doctor?
Yeah, I see Dr. Jewel down there at Seneca.
Okay. So why would they be wanting, who are they proposing to be your guardian?
I guess the state, as far as I know.
Oh.
Because I heard they filed papers. I went up there one day and asked them if they did, and they said they DHHR filed papers.
DHHR, well, I think you had to have a doctor.
Yeah, and they were going to take me to some doctor, and I basically told them I didn't want to go, and I hid from them basically the day they came and got me. Because I told them I didn't want to go. And they wouldn't listen. Now they got a doctor down there at Seneca, I heard, or he had a meeting with somebody, mental health, saying that I was stupid or something and couldn't take care of myself.
But you don't feel you're stupid, do you?
No. I asked mental health who had the meeting with the worker, and they won't tell me.